Yo, guys, what's going on? What's up? What's up? Good morning. Ready to get to work here. A little bit late here this morning, but all good because the main action really doesn't look like it wants to start until later in the day once we have the conclusion of the Fed meeting. So the real main thing I want to do this morning, right, is go over what I think are the levels to watch on the SPY later this afternoon. Yo, Kevin, what's up? The Beast. Guys, remember, do me a quick solid. We got 10 people watching the live stream. Thank you very much for joining me this morning. Smash that like button. Help me out because that helps out the YouTube's algorithm there and says, hey, people like this guy's stream. Let me start pushing it up. So real quick here, let's jump on over to the SPY. This is very simple, guys. Here's the SPY's daily chart. I want to go over this. It's very, very important, okay? The SPY today, when the FOMC concludes, we have the initial, press releases, and then we have 2:30 Jerome Powell up on the podium. Going to be watching specifically the federal funds rate. Did they move it from where it's at higher? If they do, then I think this market goes lower, okay? How low does it go? That will depend entirely tomorrow when we have Apple, Alphabet, and Amazon reporting their earnings. If those earnings and forward guidance are not good, especially the forward guidance, emphasis on that, I think this market drops even lower and we could see it fall down here into this range. Okay? If that forward, if we have a raise in the federal funds rate and then we have a mixed bag of those earnings, then I think we just stay up here in this general area, okay? More than likely up here, maybe even 395 to 390, okay? Now, if we have nothing, if nothing changes in the federal funds rate, okay, if the federal funds rate does not change, it remains the same, then I think you could get the SPY right back up here to 410, okay? I think you get that SPY right back up here to 410. If you have no change in the federal funds rate, and good or mixed bag in those earnings, right, and forward guidance, then I think you could theoretically get up here, maybe even to 420. Okay, that's it. That's what I'm looking at today, tomorrow. Okay, now as far as intraday today, I'm going to be as super selective like I was yesterday. Sorry, I had to drink that. Benny, what's up? Good morning. Buenos dias. So as far as intraday today, I'll tell you right now, intraday today, I'll be watching maybe about 40.70 for support, bottom support 40.65 on the ES. Let me grab the 60-minute chart here for you. 40.65 bottom support here on the ES. Okay, these previous tops from back here, or this previous pivot low here at about 40.70. You see it right here. Watching for support there. Resistance up here in front of 40.80 to 40.85. 40.85 gives way. Then I think we pretty much go right to 40.95. Right? I think this pivot high here goes away, gets broken, and we go a little bit higher. But here intraday in the morning session specifically, I think that we're going to have a little bit of chop. That's all. Yeah, the federal funds rate, that's not what I'm talking about there with the quarter point. The Fed rate, unless that's what you're talking about. You're talking about the federal funds rate going up. They might up that a quarter, but rates are going to go up today. Doesn't matter, right? Rates are going to go up a quarter or 50 basis point. One of those two. That's happening today. We could do 50 basis points today, 25 in the next meeting. And that concludes the 75 basis points that are missing. Because right now we know where the federal funds rate is at, where they want it to be at. They raised it back in December from 4 point something to 5.1 and change. If we go up, if that raises a quarter, right? If the federal funds rate goes up a quarter, then we'll be at 5.35. That'll cause the markets to drop. Good morning, Just a Question. I like that name. I like that name a lot. Just a Question. Good morning, good morning. So that's what I'm looking at today, guys. We'll see what happens. That's what I'm looking at as well as on the ES. All right. Now, as far as the rest of the watch list, which we did send that out already, all right, I'm watching on the small cap sector of things. On the small cap sector of things, let me show you real quick here. Watching this MSGM. Guys, we talked about this one yesterday going to $11. The damn thing. Just insane move. Insane move on MSGM. This thing is right now it's at 20 something dollars. It's gone down a lot here before the bell. I mean, this thing was, if I'm not mistaken, this thing was upwards of $80 earlier today. I was watching the $48 range, but it's back underneath that 27. And now you can see here, you see this $27 range, okay? That's going to be tough resistance. It's yesterday's high. We're back underneath it. If we can't get up over that level, watching for a blow off top on this thing that could bring it down here towards 17. All right, that'll change there from the watch list. VS, another one that's a monster today, up 391% on the day. This one watching for 250 to see if it can act as support. Boom, previous support there, previous support area back here. We're just above it. If we pull into there, looking for support to kick in. Otherwise, you'd want to see it hold above $3. And then Tesla, you know, if the market goes up, I expect Tesla to go right back to 180. If the market goes down, I expect Tesla to come back down here to 160. That's pretty much it. And that's basically in the afternoon session, not now. Like I said, I expect chop now. Ding, ding, ding. That's right, the beast. The market is open. Guys, if you don't get the daily watch list sent to your inbox, make sure to sign up here. It's completely free. We don't bombard you with BS. Also, check your spam folder if you are signed up and you're not getting the weekly watch list. Make sure to check that spam folder. All right. All right, guys, yesterday was a no trade day for me. Monday was a green day. This morning here, I'm going to be extra cautious in that if I do take a trade, it's going to be smaller because I want to conserve the mental capital for this afternoon. The last thing I want to do is get myself chopped up here in the morning session. And then later this afternoon, when I believe we're actually going to have clear-cut direction in one way or another, right? I'm going to be reactive to that direction in the afternoon. The last thing I want to do is spend all my mental capital here in the morning, much less have a chunky red morning. I don't want none of that nonsense. So I'll decrease my size here this morning trading the ES, and I'll be quicker on some takes more than likely and wait and see what this afternoon holds, because I think this afternoon is going to be kind of like our Super Bowl, okay? SPY with a little gap down here. A little bit of a bear flag that it's trying to form. We'll see if it continues it. We'll see if it can continue that little bear flag formation or not. Let me take a quick look here. OPEC not changing anything as far as production goes. Surprise, surprise. Remember, Jerome Powell gets up on the podium at 2:30 p.m. In 11 minutes, we have manufacturing PMI. 26 minutes from now, we got JOLTS, ISM manufacturing PMI, ISM manufacturing employment. And then an hour from now, we'll have crude oil inventories. And that's about it for the morning. So, got to watch out for that here. In 11 minutes, we'll have manufacturing PMI. We don't want to be in a trade, and when those numbers come out, you get some crazy reaction on the ES, could easily get shaken out or hurt. Got to be careful. And then at 10, we'll have JOLTS. We'll have JOLTS, ISM manufacturing PMI, and ISM manufacturing employment. Got to be careful there leading into 10. So I don't want to hold on to any trade. Usually my trades don't start to happen until 9:40, 9:45. And sometimes I hold them past 10, right? Depending as I scale out. But I don't want to be holding on to anything at 10. And I'm going to wait for after 9:45 here when that manufacturing PMI comes out. In the meanwhile, guys, any questions or any charts you want me to look at for you? Right now is perfect time for that because I'm just waiting for patterns, setups Those of you who might be new around here, I don't really trade momentum. Like, I don't scalp opening bell nonsense. I wait for patterns, right? Like bear flags, bull flags, U shapes, ascending triangles, etc. Right? Cup and handles. I wait for patterns, or I wait for setups to come to me. And when they do, that's when I look to take my trade. So right now it's really early, we're only 5 minutes into the day. So if you have any charts you want me to look at for you this morning, right now is a good time. Right now is a good time. Scott says, first time watching, what's your top 3 setups? Okay, so that's a loaded question. I'll tell you why. Your top 3 setups could be your top 3 setups for like a whole month, and then they don't work. They don't work for a month or 2 or 3. They might not work for a quarter, right? So you got to change it. This is why you got to be fluid. It's perfectly fine for a new trader to focus on 1, 2, or even 3 setups and just focus on those wholeheartedly, especially if they're trading in a simulator, right? But remember, a setup that's hot this week might be freezing cold next week. Now, this week so far, pullbacks into support have been my go-to. I mean, pullbacks into support have been my go-to, I think, since Thursday of last week or so. Even though I did make some money short, I think it was Wednesday. I don't remember. Regardless, pullbacks into support have been paying me lately. So we'll have an initial run up. I'll wait for a pullback into a major support zone, get long, and ride that wave back up. Now, my favorite, just in general, my favorite setups would be a bear flag. I freaking love bear flags when they work out, when all the stars align properly, right? It's one of my favorites recently. The pullback into support after an initial big run up. And then the third one, you know what? I'll just pick one of my favorite swing trade setups, which is a cup and handle. But this goes a lot with what's hot in the moment. And then there's more to it. When I was learning to trade, like 6, 7 years ago now, and I'm not looking at the camera because I'm watching the chart here. When I started learning to trade about 6, 7 years ago, one of the first people, because I've only really learned from 2 people, one of the first people I learned from, his thing was he would talk about all these patterns, but he would leave behind the secret sauce, you might want to call it. And that's being able to analyze volume properly. You see, a bull flag is a bull flag. It's just a bull flag. It is what it is. But if you don't incorporate the volume profile and proper volume analysis into that bull flag setup, you'll oftentimes wonder why every time I get in a bull flag does it fail? Why does it always fail on me? Or why does it fail more often than not? It's because you're not being selective on the bull flag. You see, just because the pattern is there doesn't mean you have to trade it. You got to make sure that the technical analysis behind that pattern all align. If it all aligns, that's when you enter it. That's when you press the trigger, right? Just because it's a U shape, or just because it's a bear flag, or just because it's a cup and handle, it doesn't mean anything if the volume profile is not there. You got to have multiple things aligning, in my opinion anyways, for that pattern to truly be an A+ setup. All right, so you got in the ES with a nice little bounce here off of 40.75. Like I said, I really wanted to see 40.65 get tested, but so far 40.75 has held. I was looking for 40.70 to 40.65. We've held 4075, 4074 area rather well. Yo, my pleasure, Scott. My pleasure. Guys, if you're new around here, subscribe to the channel. I stream Monday through Friday, just like this, every single morning. And I'm gonna tell you right now, and it's not like, oh, this guy's tooting his own horn. You're gonna get real information here. You're not gonna get some clown. You're not gonna get some clown that's just gonna be trying to make a show here for you or forcing a trade for the sake of putting on a trade for the audience. You're gonna get everything I know. Everything I know. As much as it possibly can, even if it's scattered. That's why I have the courses. They're there. Check out the Day Trader chat room if you want. Daytraderchatroom.com. Courses are there. And, you know, they're organized. It's a curriculum. But, yeah, I'm going to share everything I know. That's it. Simple as that. Nice little pop here on the ES into 4082. Oh, guys, you'll be happy to know I did start. Remember what I said I was going to work on that handbook on how to get funded? Started working on it. Very, very good. And there we're like a quarter of the way through. I'll be probably half done. And I'm talking about half done with the rough, probably in the next 2 weeks. So we are on pace to possibly having this done by the end of the month into the beginning of next month, I want to say. Nice little pop here in a 4082. We're coming on back down to 4079. Really choppy so far here in the morning session. We're only 11 minutes into the day. We're only 11 minutes into the day. We got 4 minutes till manufacturing PMI comes out. Guys, any other questions or charts you want me to look at? Don't hesitate. Just throw them out there. Breaking news, FBI searching Biden home in Delaware. Bro, they're all over this guy. It's about damn time, to be honest. Nothing will come of it, though. All right. I got 2 minutes so those PMI numbers come out. Nice little move here on the SPY. All right, you see that there. And then if we hop on over here towards the 60-minute chart on the ES, we're still inside that chop zone. That's what I was waiting for, that deeper pullback into like 4070, 4071 zone. If we would have pulled back in there, I would have been interested in a long, you know, just for a scalp at least, honestly. I'm not a scalper. I'm really not, but at least for a little scalp. I mean, the range is there to where you can pull 6-7 points somewhat easy if, you know, if the trade works and one doesn't get stopped out, of course. But really, I'd be more interested in this thing if we break over 4085 and then we hold support there, because then we could probably get ourselves a nice little move into an over 4090. Let's go take a quick look. I want to take a quick look. Some of these smallies that were moving around. VS was one. VS we have on the watch list this morning. So VS we had on the watch list this morning, watching for that 250 area hold. We got room to 440. We pulled in here to the 280s, so not quite deep enough into those 250s. I said we got room here to 440s. We got halted, you know, after I pushed to 335. This is a weird kind of halt. I'm wondering if this is a news pending halt. I got way too many things on my screen here. Honestly, I do. You should see this. This is madness. I got my futures. Well, okay, so watch. I'll show you because you guys seen this chart. Those of you who are new, you probably don't. You probably haven't seen it unless you've seen one of my videos, one of my trading recap videos. But when I'm in a trade, we hop on over usually to this chart. And this is my chart that's right here with all my broker information. And I punch in my trades there on futures. Now, just above that, I have like my order box, execution, account, etc. Then I got a 60-minute chart, a daily chart, and I have my streaming software. All of this is right here, but it's a 43-inch monitor. And then I have like my news, right? Then over here on this side, I got another 43-inch monitor. We got TC2000. We got TC2000 on this side, plus the futures charts that you get to see. And then down here, I got my YouTube. Dude, so I don't have room. So if anybody can bring up why that thing was halted there, well, it looks like we resumed. Now we're halted to the downside. Really wild. Yo, Mike, good morning, good morning. What's going on, man? How you doing? Good stuff, man. Glad to hear it. Ready for today. Hey, where's Dan at? Haven't seen him today. That's weird. Dan, are you out there listening? Feel like you're out there listening, my man. All right, so far we're just grinding there. VS is halted there to the downside. MSGM actually holding up really well. That $28 level, 27, mid 27s is important. You see, that was yesterday's high, which coincides with this previous support zone back here. We're over that level now. Let me tell you something. This thing can get crazy again. If it breaks 33, watch out. If it breaks 33, watch out. We could see this thing right back at that $50 zone. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me the least bit. Been a while, a long time since we've seen a smallie do something like that. Yeah, why? Why do you say that? I mean, unless they're shorts. If they're shorts, yeah. Watch for that 9 EMA VWAP cross here on MSGM. It seems to be halted out of that halt. Like if you get out of that halt, watch for that 9 EMA VWAP cross. Tesla is chopping around. SPY holding up fairly well, to be honest. You haven't had a clean push and pull back or a clean dump and bounce. You've just been grinding. It's just been a grinder. Honestly speaking, I don't know why anyone would be in a trade on the ES or the SPY right now because it's just been a grinder. There's strategies out there where people will play maybe a bigger time frame here and maybe they would have started to scale into a long position in front of 4070, meaning they would have started to scale into it without confirming support down there. They would have picked up, you know, maybe a contract at 4074. They would have picked up more at 4070. They would have held their stop under 4065. That would be a potential strategy here to play this long. And maybe they did that. They picked up 4074, 4075, 4076, something like that for their first, and they're still in it. If that's the case, that's awesome, you know? Outside of that, there's really nothing here that would have been done unless you're scalping a 2000 tick chart. So I'm going to wait, see how we act up there in front of 4085. We can break through that level and hold. Maybe you got a little push here, a little push higher. We tapped 4085 right now to the penny. All right, so you're getting a little bit of a break there of that 4085. You could start to see an extension move there if that break holds. I'm going to watch and wait for pullbacks into that level, see if they want to hold support. I'm not just going to buy the breakout. Not today, not right now. This was a breakout after the Fed meeting is concluded, and the macro analysis there, the macroeconomic analysis there would dictate a long bias. Then yeah, I'd buy the breakout. Damn, my foot is asleep, dude. Down here, slamming it on the floor. Pre-market went from 65 to 31 candle. Poof. I knew something was up there because when I did my pre-market watch list this morning, I had MSGM with a watch for the $48 area support on pullbacks. We were well above that level. And then all of a sudden, we were in the 20-something when we opened. I said, all right, guys, I'm going to flip this, watch that the mid-27s, yesterday's highs, for resistance or a possible breakout. We got the breakout up over that level. But yeah, I was like, what happened here? Bro, 65 to 30 in one candle? Oh my God. Good Lord. You know, that's crazy. It really is. That's the type of stuff that... This falls back to when we were talking a lot the last few days about risk management. You cannot trade a stock like MSGM thinking that you're going to be able to have a tight stop. You're going to get stopped out the moment you enter that thing because it's mean. It's a mean, low flow, short squeeze, and it can move points. I remember one time, and the video should be up on the channel here, back when all these stocks were coming out, all these low floaters were coming out with press releases in the pre-market regarding NFT projects. I don't remember which one it was, but I went into that trade and, I went into that trade and I had, I want to say like a 5-point stop. My stop was 5 points. I have to imagine it was 5 points. It was either 3 or 5 points. But bro, my upside, my God, I scaled out of that. My best take profit, I want to say, was between 8 to 11 points, if I remember correctly. I have multiple trades like that on the channel. All right, so we tapped 4088. We're looking to see if we pull back and hold those 48, that 4080 zone. 4085, sorry, 4085 through 4081. See if we can hold that as support. Yeah, the thing with those types of stocks is that you don't want to enter that with your regular size. And you don't have to either, because they make such large moves that even with smaller size, you can make huge gains. And then if you get stopped out, it's still, you know, within your risk parameters for the most part. If you get a nasty flush, you have to account. In other words, when you trade one of those low float crazy flyers, you have to account for that extra volatility with your share size. You have to, because you have to know that, okay, my stop is a point down. Let's just say that's what it is, right? Because the chart dictated that. Remember, we're going to paraphrase this with the chart dictates where your stop loss is. So let's say you enter that position in one of those crazy ones, and the chart says your stop is a point down. Well, you have to mentally know, hey, The chart says it's a point down. My risk per trade is $300. Let's just say that, right? I can take 300 shares of this stock. However, I know that this thing is insane. And we could all of a sudden flush and get halted to the downside. And then we resume another dollar underneath that. So you have to compensate, right? So in my opinion, instead of trading 300 shares, you're going to trade 150 shares. All right, guys, so no pullback. This thing has just gone straight up. You can see the SPY testing yesterday's close. You can see the ES extending right to 4090 like we talked about, but no real pullback there. Watching and waiting. What's going on with Tesla? What? How, bro? Like, what even is that? Haven't seen Tesla put in 2 candles like that in a long time. Like, look at the size of a typical Tesla candle on a bigger move, right? Look at these two. That's insane. We haven't seen that in a while. Look, just scroll back. You really haven't seen Tesla put in. You've seen it make a big move, but you haven't seen it put 2 candles back to back like that. Are you crazy? Haven't seen that in a long time. We're pulling back now from that 4090 we talked about. Remember, we said 4090 to 4095. We tapped 40, what is this, 4089 something? 4089.75. I'm trying to pull back a little bit. Let's see how it acts down there at 4085. Wow, Tesla's still squeezing, guys. Tesla's still squeezing. I'm not in a trade right now, as you can see. That's my chart. Good eye there, Francisco. Nice move on Tesla there. That intraday red to green move. So SPY tapping yesterday's close area, pulling back a little bit here. It looks like it could go higher, to be honest. Like I said, I'm not going to go crazy this morning. I'm going to wait. You know, I'll take a trade, but it's going to be smaller size. I'm going to wait for this afternoon. I want to wait for this afternoon's trading. Yep, that's all you can do. Wait for your setup. I would like to see the SPY pull into that 9 AMA zone at least. Don't know that it's going to. If the ES breaks again over 4088, then I think you can break 4090. It's looking like it wants it, to be honest. If the ES breaks 4090, this thing could make a nice move, to be honest. But you got to get that SPY up there and breaking yesterday's close. It's definitely struggling a little bit up there. $10 a.m. is coming. We have numbers coming up now as well. I have jolts coming out here now. Few seconds till those numbers come out. Oh, oh, bro, destruction. Wow, that was mean. Nasty, bro. From 40, basically from 4090 to 4078, like that. Like that. Insane move. Did you see that candle on the SPY? That's crazy. What does it look like on Tesla? Little pullback. All right, so Jolts was expected at 10.25. Previous was 10.44. We came in at 11.01. ISM manufacturing was 50. Expectation was 50.6. Expectation was 49. ISM manufacturing employment. ISM manufacturing PMI was 47. Expectation was 47.4. Expectation was 48. Manufacturing PMI actually came in slightly higher, 46.9. Expectation was 46.8. That was the 9:45 a.m. number. So we don't have any more numbers now for the next 30 minutes until 10:30, where we'll have crude oil inventories. All right. That'll be next. All right, expecting that 4090 area to hold up resistance for now. If the SPY gets back under VWAP, we could see a little bit of a flush there, but it needs to get back under VWAP. That's the only way. All right. Let's see what happens when we get down here to 4075 zone. Hasn't really given a setup that could get short in front of. Right down into that 4075 area right now. SPY in front of the day's low. Let's see if we get any weak volume bounces. If we break under 4075, I'll watch and see if we get weak volume bounces. Guys, remember, any questions, throw them up in chat. All right, nice wick there into that support zone. Let's see if it's going to hold in reverse course. Or if it's going to be a weak volume bounce. If we can get up over 40-80 area right here where we're at, kind of hold that level of support, then yeah, you could get a little U-shape. Otherwise, you might see a little bit of a dump back to the lows. So far, that area of VWAP 40.0550 on the SPY is holding resistance. 40.81-ish holding resistance on the ES. Maybe we start to bear flag a little bit there. If we get back up over 40.8150, that would be the stop out zone on a short opportunity here. They didn't get my full entry, so we're going to hold on to this. See if we can get back down there, break the lows. I don't know that we do. And I am willing to switch bias on this one over 40.8150. Let's see how low this one wants to go. If we break 40.7350, this thing can flush out pretty harshly down there in front of 40.70, 40.69. Damn. We'll see it. We'll see what it does. We're right back down there to that support zone. I think it breaks down underneath it, to be honest. We're looking rather weakish. Volume was pretty strong on that drop. Let's see. I mean, normally if I had my full size here, this would be the first take profit zone, meaning this is the first area I'd cover. Because it has shown up as support, so you want to cover some in front of support just in case. But I only have one contract. I'm going to hold on to it, see if we can get that second take profit at least. SPY trying to hold desperately to this low here. It is looking weakish though. That was a harsh rejection of that VWAP 4050 zone. All right, there we go. Was trying to go lower. New lows on the SPY. I don't think we can go much lower though, unless we break 4070. Like if we flush 4073 and we just knife through that 4070, then yeah. Outside of that, probably not so much. This has been a strong support area. Little bounce back attempt here. I won't let it chop me up. I'll cut it loose if we don't, if we don't make that move lower. All right, so we're starting to bounce a little bit better off of that support zone. I don't like that, so I'm going to close it out there. Watch for a possible re-entry. What did I lose on that? A point and a quarter or something like that, so it's not a big deal. Only had one contract. I'll watch and wait. See that strong bounce back on the SPY off of that support zone? You see that line that's drawn? Let's see how it does up here in front of VWAP. On the SPY, back up there testing that 40-50 zone. This is why you have to be careful. You can easily get chopped up. And then when the FOMC meeting ends later today and we get our federal funds rate decision, you'll miss out. You'll be like, damn, I don't want to trade again. I don't want to trade until tomorrow. And then you miss out on this afternoon's move. This afternoon's move should have legs. It should have legs. Ten 11 a.m. guys, super early still on the day. All right, see, there you're getting that strong bounce off that support zone. If you're beginning to hold on to those 40-80s, watch out. This thing could get a little move here, especially if the SPY can break 40.0560. Really, really choppy. So once again, that 4081 area holding up the ES here, that VWAP zone holding up the SPY. I'm not convinced it holds it up much longer though. I think we might be able to break up over it. Let's see. This is the definition of a choppy morning. You know what? While we wait for this thing to figure out its way, what it wants to do, let's hop on over to the equities chart real quick. Let's take a look at MSGM. There it is, guys. We talked about that. You know, if it would break up over 28 and hold support, to watch for that move into what? Remember $48? Why? Because that was that resistance area previously that we talked about. Here's 28 holding support, and look at that move. Where to, guys? 48 bucks. So that one, and I told you, watch for that 9 EMA VWAP cross. And there you go. You got that 9 EMA VWAP cross, and that 9 EMA so far has held support. Support at that 9 AMA. Keep eyes on that. That thing still has tremendous potential. Keep eyes on the SPY here. If it begins to hold this VWAP zone 40-50 area, this thing could get wild. You could get a move right back up here towards the highs. So something to keep an eye on. VS completely imploded. This thing is destroyed, in my opinion, right now. Most of the attention is over on MSGM here. Hopping on back over here to look at the SPY and the ES. Watching that ES for that 40-80 hold. See if the SPY can hold that VWAP 40-50. Sorry, 405.50 area. Guys, I will not be streaming in the afternoon. Not too much going on in the afternoon to be streaming, but I will be trading this afternoon. So what I'll do is, if I'm able to record the trades this afternoon, which I should be able to, I'll post a recap. If I catch a good trade, if I catch a trade, like if I'm able to identify where I want to get long or short, and I catch my trade, I'll try to record it. Should be able to. I generally, record them here with you, and then we go over it in a recap. SPY chopping around, couldn't hold VWAP, coming all the way back down here to 40.0520. Not in anything, just watching and waiting. That one trade so far. Well, this lost 1.25 on one singular ES contract, so it's a nothing burger. It's like I did nothing. But I said I was going to be a little bit more selective this morning to conserve that mental capital for the afternoon. Guys, if you have any charts you want me to look at for you, perfect time to get that done now. Benny says, question, did you ever day trade? And if, what do you, yeah, man, day trade right here with you. What do you mean, did I ever day trade? How did you get out of holding on to losers? So a while back, I don't think that you were in the stream yet. A while back, we kind of went over something similar to where we were talking about the struggles of new traders. Anybody that tells you, momentum. So scalping momentum. Nah, yes, I did, but no, I don't do it. Yes, I did. That was the very first thing I ever did. And that's almost how the conversation started a while back, right? Just about everybody starts off trying to chase momentum, scalping for a few pennies at the bell. Just about everybody starts off. Why? Because when they go to YouTube and they search day trading, that's the first stuff that pops up. One thing for me as a new trader that I did not struggle with was stopping out. I didn't hold on to losers. I don't hold on to losers. Never did, still don't, and won't. I had my own struggles as any new trader, right? My struggles were FOMO. That was my struggle. That was my kryptonite. FOMO. FOMOing into stuff and oversizing, right? And of course, a little bit of revenge trading along the way. But holding on, like not stopping out, getting hard-headed, that was never an issue for me. And I'll tell you why. And the reason the way I'm going to say why it wasn't a problem for me isn't to put anybody down. It's to hopefully trigger this emotion in you, the same emotion that I had and have. I respect my money. I work damn hard for my money. I'm 39 years old, all right? I've had multiple business failures, and I've had a handful of wins. Those handful of wins, thank God, has allowed me to get to where I'm at today, along the lines with my trading, right? Trading is a business. So because I worked so hard, like most of us, for our money, okay, I respected my money. So I knew two things. I knew that if I held on to a loser, especially with the size I used to trade when I was a new trader, it could destroy my account. I never started off with a small account. I started off in a simulator, and then I went on, when I graduated from the simulator, I went on to trade a regular account at Speed Trader with $30,000. I knew one thing. You can put yourself into a trade with 1,000 shares of an $8 stock, and if you didn't stop out of that thing, you could be down $4,000 or $5,000 like this, $6,000 like that. And what happens? All you need is a string of those, and you blew up $30,000. I wasn't about to do that. So, regardless of how incorrect my stop zones were as a new trader, because they were trivial, they were not based off of the chart, they were based off of what I said, when we went over this discussion the other day about risk management and how to proper stop loss placement, proper position sizing, proper take profit zones. When we went over that, that's the proper trading. Back then, I wasn't doing that, right? I was just putting a trivial stop. Oh, 10 cents. Like, that's going to do anything. But at least I respected it enough to stop out. So those losses were small, right? Now, my kryptonite, like I said, is FOMO. I would FOMO into stocks, right? I'd FOMO into plays. And there was revenge trading occasions, right? It wasn't like an ongoing thing, but there were occasions of revenge trading. And the worst one was that Tesla trade. I think there's if there's not a YouTube video on it, there is a live session where I actually discuss it. I quickly realized that style of trading wasn't for me, and I switched over to trading how I trade now, which is more of an actual traditional long, day trader. Like how day trading used to be back in the day. It still is a thing, and the reason why is because it works. Patterns, setups, stop losses, entries, take profits based solely on the chart. All right, guys, we're stuck in this freaking little range, man. It's super annoying. Like I said, I'm not gonna get chopped up. I can't wait for later this afternoon when we get our federal funds rate decision. What do I think? I gave you multiple scenarios, and I'm going to be watching out for those multiple scenarios this afternoon. What do I think is the likely outcome? I think we go to 5.35% on the federal funds target rate, okay? And that brings the market down. So I'd be more short biased, but only if I get that. If they don't change the federal funds rate, whether we get a quarter or 50 basis points today is irrelevant, in my opinion. If they don't change the federal funds rate, then I'm looking long. Whether we get 50 or 25 basis points. Like I said, to me, that's irrelevant. Federal funds target rate, what's that at? Is it going to be the same that we have now, or are we going to 5.35% or higher? If we are going to 5.35 or higher, meaning we get another quarter or more in the future, then I'm looking lower. I'm looking lower. I'm going to be short biased in the afternoon and into tomorrow. I'll probably day trade ES short, and maybe even swing trade put options into tomorrow. So that's going to be my plan this afternoon. I'm not interested in getting chopped up here. We could get back down there, break the day's low again, and then before you know it, you're back at 40.50. I'm not looking to get chopped up, because then that's going to mess with me for this afternoon. Right now, as it stands, it's like I did nothing, right? I lost 1.25 on one singular contract. It's like I've done nothing, all right? I want to keep that going into the afternoon. So unless I get something clear cut here, I might be calling it a morning for me pretty early today. That way I can kind of chill, get ready for this afternoon, and be able to sit here at my desk again this afternoon. Like I sit here every single morning, calm, cool, collected. My desk nicely organized. It's a little bit messy right now. I got to organize it so I can sit down this afternoon and be like, all right, let's go to work. Kind of like we do in the morning session. Hey, Benny, I hope that answers. Did that help out, man? Let me know. Let me know if you heard the answer as well. I want to make sure that your question was answered to your liking, or to your satisfaction. There we go. Let me know, please. Perfect, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. No, I'm glad. I'm glad it did. If there's a follow up or anything, guys, you can always bring it up, especially in these downtimes. I might not answer a question when I'm in a trade, but if I'm waiting like this for a pattern, or if it's low, we're not doing anything, man, just bring those questions up. So, so it doesn't matter what vehicle you trade. It's not going to change that bad habit or emotion. Typically speaking, okay, watch this. Some of you are about to have aha moments. So I like to call them. All right. And I know people call it that across the board, but for these specific trading things, I like to call it the aha moments because I had them. I was like, oh, more often than not, okay, a trader chases a play simply because they lacked confidence in entering that trade where they knew they should have entered that trade. You're watching the chart. If you chased it up or down, you chased it short or long, more often than not, it's because your setup was there, you saw it, but didn't have the confidence to pull the trigger. That comes from a multitude of things. Lack of trading education, where you're not confident in your trading abilities. You oversize on your plays, therefore you are afraid to lose because you don't want to lose that amount of money that you know you'll probably lose if you're wrong, okay? Or a combination of both. More often than not, it's a combination of both. In my experience, years ago, it was a combination of both, right? The quicker, think about it like this. When you go, right, in your profession or when you were in school and you sat to take a test, you sat for an interview, when you studied up and you were sharp, and you knew the stuff like the back of your hand, you sat at that place, at that desk, in that chair, in that room, confident, fully confident, knowing you were going to eat whatever they brought to you and it wasn't a thing. The times you sat at that same place and felt uneasy was because you lacked confidence. The difference between both was that when you were confident because you knew the material, meaning you studied. When you were not confident, you didn't know the material because you didn't study. You didn't pay attention. So this is why day trading educations are so important. People think that you can jump into this world, and I might lose some people watching the stream now, and that's perfectly fine because I'm here to put out good content and not fluff. People think that you can jump into trading against algorithms made by freaking geniuses. Some of the smartest, quickest traders in the world that understand technical analysis and macroeconomics, and they think they could just open up an app on their phone and trade. And it's going to be all good and they're going to make money and they're going to beat these people. Bro. They're going to beat these people because they watched a handful of YouTube videos or read a book. No, bro. It takes a long time, especially if you do it on your own. Now, if you go study for a test and you get some cliff notes, feel a little bit better. If those cliff notes are fire, you're going to understand it all. You're probably going to get a good grade on that test, right? That's how I see good quality day trading courses. And look, I'll tell you right now, you don't have to take my course. You don't have to. If you find a good course cheaper than mine, go for it. I don't need to sell courses to make money and continue living the lifestyle we live, right? But get educated. Get educated. If you have a friend that is a profitable trader, see if you can get under their wing and learn from them, because it's going to curve so much of your trading journey. It's crazy. You can't jump in here. Imagine like, oh, I'm gonna go to some tryouts for the MLB or the NFL. right? My 39-year-old self that's out of shape, completely out of shape where I used to be for sure. And I'm going to go, no, bro, I'm going to get wrecked, destroyed. Or I used to be super into martial arts. I used to fight in tournaments and everything. And not like those funky, funny little TikTok videos you see out there. Like, we legit, it was awesome. We used to do, I used to compete in three things. I used to compete in sparring. I used to compete in forms or kata. And I used to do weapons. It was a ton of blast. You think I can't go do that right now, man? I'll get destroyed, right? Because I'm not sharp for it. I'm not ready. I'm not trained up. You have to get trained up. And getting educated is part of it. It's super important, guys. Super important. All right, so the chop continues. The chop continues, and it friggin' continues. See what we said? We broke back under a VWAP. Now we're back up over VWAP on the SPY. Super annoying. If you're interested in the core stuff, there it is in chat. Click it, don't click it. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter. Just but get out there and get educated. Get out there and get educated because you're competing against the best of the best. Think about it like this. You get a new trader, right? You throw them in with some futures contract. They're going to trade against me. Who do you think is going to win? That new trader that has zero education in trading but watched a handful of videos and read a book? Or me? I'm going to win. I'm going to win pretty much every time. And when I lose, it's going to be small losses. Joseph Graham says, you're so right, Jesse. I tell people it's not gambling. It's playing a very complicated video game where you are playing against people with more weapons and more pop. Bro, I love your analogy. I'm not a big gamer, but I do play one game. And I've been playing this game for the last 4 years since it came out. Apex Legends. Bro, I love your analogy because I usually use a similar analogy, but I've never used the video game analogy. I love it. And you have been playing longer than you. You're just trying to stay alive and win some small battles. Yes, bro. Yes. Yes. Like you grab somebody that's never played Apex Legends. You throw them in a lobby with me. I am going to destroy them. I've been playing the damn thing nearly as long as I've been trading. Just shorter, obviously. I've been trading for 6, 7. Been playing Apex for 4 years. Yes. That is a great analogy. I freaking love it. Thank you for posting that. That was amazing. This is why I love talking with you guys, man, and bouncing ideas. I love that analogy. Oh my God, man. I can't wait. I'm gonna talk to my business partner later today. I'm gonna tell him, bro, today in the stream, this guy Joseph came up with this awesome analogy. I love it. You know what? I'm gonna screenshot it so I can show it to him. Dude, that was fire. Good analogy. I love it. I love it. Another thing, and I don't know, maybe Joseph, you kind of pick up on it, maybe because based off of your analogy, you pick up on my analogies, so maybe or it won't surprise you. I've never been a teacher. I didn't finish college either, right? I've always been an entrepreneur type person. By nature, I like to teach. I absolutely love to teach because anything I know, I like to share with people. I'm the guy that with my group, my friends, my family, people near and dear to me that I do life with on a daily basis, I try to bring them in. Like if I find money, I like to bring them with me. Let's all eat, right? That's why I get a little upset when and it's happened to me in life, a couple people now. They won't be eating with me in the future when I find more money, in other words. When they find money, right, and they don't invite me to eat at their table. I take note of that, right? It's one of the things I really do take note at, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. Because if I'm bringing you for the ride, right, and you're near and dear to me, I expect you to at least say, hey, Jesse, I found some over here. You want to come in with me? And then let me tell you no, or let me say yes, the same way I do with them, right? But by nature, I like to bring people and teach them what I know. And when I don't know something, I'm going to flat out tell you, I don't know. Let's find out together, right? I used to be a youth pastor, right? Because I like to teach people what I know about the Bible. I actually went And years ago when I was younger, nowadays don't ask my opinion on the topic, wanted to be a cop because I want to help people. I've always just had that helpful mentality. It's never taken away from me achieving my goals, but at the same time, it has provided opportunities for other people to screw me over, and it's happened. Patch says triple A plus plus. Jesse, you are so correct. If you don't want to study, prove yourself in Sims and eval prop accounts, or lose your yeah, man. Yeah. Look, when I first started trading, I'm glad we're having this conversation. This choppy as crap. I'm not looking to get into anything. When I started trading, all right, 6-7 years ago, like I said, I got lucky. DRYS was one of the very first stocks I traded. Prior to that, I had accounts, but I was never really active trying to learn hardcore. DRYS was one of the first stocks I traded. I made $1,000 on that thing with like 15 shares. It was ridiculous. It was one of those crazy short squeeze like MSGM. All right, damn thing went to 115 bucks. I knew one thing immediately after I lost a few bucks with it. I made and then I lost some. Right? I was like, wait a second. There's a hack here. And I know it. I need to find out what it is. And I started looking into learning. And the very first thing, I wish I had the notebook, and I know I have it somewhere. If I ever find it, I'm going to freaking make a video on YouTube. I'm going to show everybody. I had a notebook similar to this notebook, okay? I had a notebook where I would sit here and I would use BATS free data. Those of you who know, I would use BATS free data, and I would sit here with a pen and I would paper trade on paper, my man. Talk about wanting to succeed. I would sit here and paper trade on paper. No emotions, just paper trading. There was really no emotions. It was paper trading. You couldn't see numbers flying on the screen, but I would paper trade. I'd familiarize myself with level 2, time and sales, okay? That's what I did. And then from there, you know what I did? I went out and I didn't use a free simulator. No, I paid $150 a month to trade on DAS paper trading account. So I can get live data feed and paper trade on that. And there was emotions involved. We went over this recently the other day, right? Somebody asked me, how can you have emotions in paper trading? Like they were asking me, how can you input it? Because they wanted to, I guess, do that. And I said, it's simple. You have to be a disciplined person. And this was my discipline at the time. I would grab the paper trading, I'll put it there, and I said, I cannot go touch one singular dollar of my hard-earned money until I graduate out of the simulator. And that put emotions into the paper trading. Because when I was wrong and I lost money in the paper trading account, it meant I was one step under, right? One step further away from reaching that goal. So it made me study more. It made me try harder. It made me be mad at myself when I was red on paper trading. So yeah, man. Like I get a little bit hyped up. Sorry. I got a little hyped up, guys, because there's steps to this stuff, man. There's steps to this stuff. I hate seeing new traders blow up accounts. I've never blown up an account. Never blown up an account. Like I said, I've had losses. My first 2 years were nothing but losses, right? I think my second year or into my third, I broke even. I just get upset when I see people just freaking download an app. You know, they make $4,000 a month. They throw $3,000 in the account and then they blow it up and then they say the stock market's rigged. No, man, it's not. It's not that it's rigged. Yeah, it's rigged. Learn to play it. Learn to play within the rules. You know what I'm saying? It's not that it's rigged. It's that you lack education. Great word. Thank you, Jesse. No, my pleasure, Patch. Adriana, thank you for sharing that with us. No, totally my pleasure. Sometimes I don't go into these things. I don't want people to think that I'm like scolding them, dude, because I have a way of talking. I'm not generally very soft spoken. I don't know. I just don't want to insult people. I think that's been the downfall of my channel. I've been afraid to insult people unintentionally. Joseph says, Jesse, you're right. When I started in 2021, it was easy to make money. Then last year, I realized I had to learn the rules of the game, levels, patterns, etc. Yes, before last year, in December of 2020, I said, you're going to have a rude awakening in 2021. I said this on YouTube. I said this in YouTube shorts. I said this on Twitter posts. You're going to have a rude awakening in 2021. 2021, you're going to have to know how to trade. This meme stuff, this buy whenever something drops, it's all going to be over. You're going to have to learn to trade if you want to trade. You don't have to learn to trade if you want to be a long-term investor. You freaking buy the SPY every month and you forget about it for 20 years. Right? Long-term investing. But if you want to learn to actively trade, if you want to actively trade, apart from long-term investing, I do both, then you got to learn. Wow. Damn, Scott. That's wild. That one hits in the feels. Scott says youth pastor is a confirmation of the type of day trader I'm looking to learn from. That one hits in the feels, my man. I'm glad. I'm glad. So yeah, any other questions, guys, you want to go over? I was gonna end the stream a minute ago, but we got into this awesome conversation and topics, and I don't mind beating dead horses with these topics, to be honest, because I don't think they're talked about enough on YouTube and on social media. Plenty of Lambos, but not much of this meats and potato stuff. SPY chopping around, guys. I'm not going to grab another trade here. It's 10:42 a.m. I am probably going to give it another 5 minutes here in case you guys have any other topics you want to discuss. Otherwise, then I'll close it. I'll trade in the afternoon once the FOMC meeting is over. It's going to be whiplashing. Please, if you're going to trade this afternoon, think about what we said about MSMG, whatever the hell, that stock that went from like $3 to $100 million. Remember we talked about that. We talked about that type of stock. Remember earlier on today? It's whiplash, and you think you have a dollar stop, but there's going to be the great possibility of major slippage. So instead of taking 300 shares because your risk is $300 per trade, you're going to take 150 to compensate for that extra risk in case you lose $2 instead of $1. Remember that? This afternoon, keep that in mind. If you're going to go out there and trade futures, or if you're going to go out there and trade SPY put options or call options, keep that in mind. If you normally trade 3, 4, 5 ESs, you might consider trading 1 or 2, in which case you might consider trading 10 or 20 MESs, micros. If you normally trade 3 to 5 ESs, you might consider taking 2 or 3 only. You know what I'm saying? If you normally trade, depending on your stops, obviously, on the chart, if you normally trade, 5 to 10 SPY options, you might consider trading only 2 to 4. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to get these huge moves. The profit will be there, but you got to watch out. You got to watch out because you can get hurt. Patch good, man. I got some stuff upcoming with them. I just haven't dove into it. I got some stuff I want to talk to their CEO about. He and I discussed in our previous phone conference that I want to get cooking later this month. The reason I haven't jumped on that is because I've been waiting for today, leading into tomorrow and Friday, where we're going to have this extra volatility in the market. But as far as trading as a trader within it, no complaints. No complaints. They recently came out when I got funded on the account back in December. After you get funded, you got to pay $88 a month, basically for your data feed and whatnot. Plus whatever fees they add to that with, I think, Stripe fees. You're like over $90 a month. I paid the first month, and then they recently came out with a thing where if you pay $250 one time, it covers your account forever. You don't have to pay it again. I was like, well, bet, I want in on that. I wasn't sure whether it was only for new, new funded accounts or if it was retroactive and you can be like, hey, yo, remember me? And they did it. They were like, yeah, it's not a problem. We got you. So I did that. I paid the 250 and that's it. I don't have to do that anymore. I think that's really good because that's not something that most places offer. I don't know of any other place that offers that, to be honest. I won't say there isn't because I don't know, but I haven't heard of any. So yeah, that's pretty good. I like it so far. If you guys are interested in the funded futures program with them, 90-10 split, and you got a 20% off code there. If you use my code, okay, and you go in there and you check out, then you know what? I'm going to actually show you guys. You know what? We're going to take a few minutes here and I'm going to show you guys some other stuff. If you go in there and you check out with my code, okay, it'll automatically apply the best available discount. So if there's nothing over 20% off, you'll use my 20% off. But if they have like something cooking that's 30, 40, 50, 60% off, my code will automatically apply that for you. Let me show you guys because they have a bunch of different accounts. All right. Okay, there we go. You can see it there, right? Yeah. Thank you for the info. Sounds really good. Only Apex. Oh, okay. They offer something similar. Cool. I didn't know. Okay. So the cool thing about that I like, right, with this prop firm with Lilu is that you only have one rule. You only have one rule, and that rule is a trailing drawdown. Don't blow up. That's it. Don't blow up the trailing drawdown. Okay. They have their Lilu Express, which you have 14 days to get funded. If you get funded in those 14 days, okay, they refund you your $77 that you spent. So you basically get an account for free. I haven't done that one. I might do it. Just test it out. It looks like a fun challenge. Might blow it up out the gate, might not. Then they have the Aspire, which is $25,000. Okay. So what happens with these? Okay, these are your funded foundation accounts. They call them here, right? These are your basic accounts. These are the accounts where you're gonna get funded if you pass, and you're gonna trade it like a regular account. So let's say you do the $25,000 account. Okay, you're allowed to trade right out the gates. There's no skating. 3 minis or three ESs or 30 micros. You have a profit target of $1,500, meaning you got to make $1,500. Okay, and your trading drawdown is $1,500. Okay, now if you get funded here, you're gonna get a $25,000 account, and you're gonna be able to trade right out the gate the same way. 3 minis, 3 micros, same trading drawdown. However, with all of these, the trading drawdown, once you've reached it, so let's say you have the $25,000 account, right? So if you have the $25,000 account and you go $1,500 in profit, you're at $26,500. Now, if you lose underneath, like let's say you lose $1,500 and you're right back to $25,000, at this point here, you've essentially blown up and you lost your account. You don't, let's say that drawdown was more than $1,500, it was $3,000 drawdown, right? Like it was an instant drawdown on a flush or something. You're not going to owe them the difference. It's just you blew up your account. It's over. It's done with. With your $25,000 account, if on day one you lost your $1,500 and you drew down to $23,500, you don't owe them that money. And that's the same with all of these accounts. It goes the same with all of these accounts. Mine is a $50,000 account. That's the one I did because I saw these three here, the 25, the 50, and the 100, as the type of accounts that a newer trader would go after. And I wanted to base my handbook that I'm going to do and my course around the new trader. Okay. So I went after that one, boom, got it funded, and I'm trading it. I'll trade it for who knows how long I'll trade it. Long term, I won't be trading it forever because I have no need. I could just grab money and open up my regular futures account and be able to partake in the fact that when you trade futures, you're taxed on capital gains. Whereas here, I'm going to be taxed as a prop firm trader, and I'm going to be taxed like a 1099 subcontractor, right? I work for them. So it's different. But regardless, we can go over that type of stuff later. So these are your regulars, the regular accounts, right? If you do a bundle account, it means that you're going to get multiples. Like you come in here, you buy one of these, you're going to get multiples of that one account. You're only going to be able to be funded in one of them. So let's say you have, I don't remember how many accounts it is, right? Let's say you have 5 accounts. See what happens if we click buy now. See if it tells me. I don't see it. Maybe I'm missing it. But let's say you pass multiple accounts. You're only going to be able to fund one. The reason why you have these bundle accounts is because it's a cheaper way of resetting. Let's say you blew up the first day. Instead of contacting them and paying for a reset of your account, you just move on to your second account and your third, etc. There used to be 5 accounts. I'm not sure how many they are now. Then you have these entry-level accounts. These, you know how the other ones you have a 90-10 commission split? You keep 90% of the profits, they keep 10. With these, it's different. You don't keep much of anything. I think you keep like 20% or 30% or something. Yeah, 20%. 20% of profits you keep. So really what these are, I would call it the next step up from trading in a simulator. Some traders find these extremely useful. I know someone purchased one of these recently here from the stream, possibly because I saw it go through with my link and whatnot. These will work. You know, it's cool to get your feet wet, let's say, because they're cheap enough, right? $38 a month. Plus, if you use my coupon code, it's going to come out to basically nothing. I guess it's a good way to get your feet wet, in other words. Okay, it's a step up from trading in a simulator because at least you make a couple bucks. But really, you know, this is where I would say you want to live. Because once you get funded here, you can keep 90% of your profits. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I like them. I like them. And they're quick on customer service. They reply quickly. Like, I've had these people reply to me in the middle of the night. So, yeah. Any questions about those, don't ever hesitate to reach out to me. Here, I'll put the link again in chat for you guys. Like, I've been asked a couple times, oh, what's the best way to start trading futures? 100%, I would say. Back then, I would say just trade in a simulator. Now, I would say get yourself into a funded program. Get yourself into it. If you're afraid that it's going to be difficult for you to put emotions into your simulator trading, then get into one of these funded programs. Get into one of these because now you're going to have to pay attention. You're going to have to trade within some sort of rule parameter and you have an end goal. You're going to get funded if you pass. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to allow you to put those emotions and then you're not risking your money, right? At worst, you're risking, you know, 70, 80 bucks, 100 and something dollars a month. That's a whole lot better than losing $1,000 in a month, you know? So, yeah, you might want to look into that. Guys, it's 10:53 a.m. We finally got a little move to the downside here on the SPY. I don't trust that we're just going to sell off or anything like that. So, I'm going to wait until this afternoon. All right, it's almost 11 a.m. I'm going to wait until this afternoon, and we'll see what the afternoon session holds. I already went over with you guys here what I expect this afternoon and my what if then that scenarios. So, if anything, you can go back and look at the stream after we end it, or look at yesterday's stream where I went over the same thing as well, and you can find out. I really don't want to repeat it again. And I'm looking at the numbers here. I think pretty much everybody that's here right now has been in here for most of the stream today. Patch says, thank you for the overview. Wish I would have started in funded challenges. Hey, it's never too late. It's never too late at all. Hop on in on that sucker. You know, it's literally never too late. Like, if you're a new trader out there, guys, if you're a new trader watching this, you've already lost a couple $1,000 and you're still not a profitable trader, then stop right now. Stop right now. Get yourself into one of these funded challenges. It's gonna be a little bit safer. You're gonna have more emotions to learn to control there. Maybe in one of these streams we can talk about how to control emotions and some of the rules I have for myself, because no one's exempt from falling victim to their own emotions and going on tilt. And get yourself into one of those right now. It's better to do that before you've lost $4,000, $6,000, $8,000. You know what I'm saying? You can literally spend the next 3 months, 6 months trading, trying every month to beat one of these things and spending 100 and change versus losing another $8,000. So it's never too late at all. at all, guys. So make sure to take advantage of that. All right, guys. Any last minute questions before we head on out? Because what I'll do is I'll populate the stream for tomorrow 9:15 a.m. And if I do catch a trade this afternoon, what I'll do is I'll post a recap later tonight. Okay. Yeah, it totally is, Patch. It really is. When I went off back in December, I was looking around to see, where I wanted to do this little challenge. I had never done one. Where I wanted to do this, I picked them. I picked them for the simple fact that the commission split was good, 90-10. Can't beat that. But more than that, they didn't have a billion different rules that I felt were put in place to make traders fail, so they would have to constantly be getting more accounts. You know what I mean? They had one rule, a max trading drawdown. That teaches you how to manage risk and not to blow up. That's what it teaches you. It's just one rule. I was like, bet, this has got to be the one. A buddy of mine has the one that put me onto them. My buddy of mine put me onto them, and me and him, we go way back trading. Like, we met in a trading chat room from like way back when I started trading, and we kept in contact ever since. So he put me onto them, and I was like, you know what? I kind of like it. So I told him I wanted to do that for the goals I said. I wanted to show new traders, etc. He's like, man, I got the place for you, because he had gotten funded, and he got funded on the $300,000 account. But again, the guy knows how to trade, right? I mean, we've been through the ringer together since way back. I'm setting up the stream for tomorrow, so I can give you guys the link. So those of you who are new can go over to the stream's link and hit notify. Guys, and hit the like button for me. It really helps out tremendously. And if you haven't hit the like button today, please help me out there. Hit that like button, especially if you enjoyed today's information. I've blown up. So Scott says, I've blown up a few accounts. My issue has been risk management and holding on to losers and cutting my winners too quick. God is good, and I have another opportunity, so I've got to do it right now. Yeah, man. Look, right now, from the deepest parts of me, tell you right now, if you are not consistently profitable right now, even if it's just $10, I don't care. If you're not consistently profitable right now, stop trading real money. Stop trading real money right now. I know it's hard. Believe me, I know it's hard. Go back to step one. Okay? Go back to step one. You know what? And this is not just for Scott. Okay? This is not just for Scott. Hold on. I got you. I got you. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Anybody, there's the email to the company, info@thedaytraderchatroom.com. Anybody that's in the stream right now that wants a solid discount code on my entire curriculum of courses, send me an email. I don't know if I'm going to get that email or if my business partner is. Either way, I'm going to notify him. We're going to get you a massive discount code so you can go and check out. The discount code will have a timer on it. You can go and you can check out. You can get the courses. Start from square one. Go through a curriculum. Doesn't have to be mine. I don't care. But make sure that it's from somebody that knows what they're doing. Go through a curriculum. Go into a simulator or a prop firm, okay? And trade within that safety net. And then once you've proven to yourself that you can be profitable in that environment, then go trade your real cash. All right? That's going to save you so much headaches. It's ridiculous. That's the email, guys. Okay, that's the email. If you're wondering about the site, here's the site, whatever. But yeah, okay. All right, guys. So you got all the information. Later on, Patch. See you tomorrow. Thank you. You too. You guys got all the info. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here because I need to simmer down and get ready for this afternoon Super Bowl time when we get this FOMC meeting to conclude and we get the final decision on the federal funds rate. Remember, we know we're getting a quarter or 50 basis point regardless. We're getting an interest rate hike today. That's in the books. We know it. The market knows it. The market has it priced in. What the market does not have priced in is if the Fed raises the federal funds rate and we go from where we're at 5.1 and change to 5.35. If we do that, if that happens, I think we go lower, and I'm going to be in swing trade puts probably overnight and definitely shorting the ES this afternoon, okay? Any questions, don't hesitate to reach out, guys. Have a good one. See you tomorrow morning. Peace.